Well, hello, citizens of the world. Shaba Shams here with Around Our Table. And my guest today is an amazing human being, a friend of mine from the 10X incubator and the 10X community that I have been very honored to meet. So I'm very happy to introduce you, Alejandro Espinoza. Welcome to Around Our Table. How are you doing?
Wonderful, Shaba. Thank you so much for having me here.
Well, so good to have you, my friend. Of course, I am breaking my rules a little bit because normally my show or pod show is inviting people that I have never interacted with, and I invite them on the cold on my show just to discover who they are. And of course, I'm cheating a little bit here because you and I have even met in person during the 10X immersion, and we bonded and we connected. And because of this connection, that I wanted to invite you and share your story with the world because you are such an amazing human being, and I have the honor to be your friend. So tell me a little bit about yourself, Alejandro.
Thank you, Shaba. It's amazing having this conversation with you again. Well, my name is Alejandro. I live in Scottsdale, Arizona. I grew up in Mexico, and I grew up eating delicious food, the most delicious food in the whole world. I grew up with no father. My mom used to go to work while my grandma babysat me and my brother. So since at a young age, I've witnessed my mom grinding and going to work without complaining. So she was a huge role model for me. And not only that, she was the best cook in the entire world, in my opinion. The flavors that she would bring to the table, they were unmatched. You could not taste this kind of love in food anywhere else. And so now I am on my journey to becoming a tech entrepreneur and disrupt where my background is, which is in finance and insurance for the automotive industry. So we are now here sharing the journey in the tech world, which I'm super excited about and looking forward to it.
And I'm super excited about that for you too. Amazing things are happening in your life and you deserve it. You work hard and you're very focused on your moonshot, your dream, what you want to accomplish in life. So tell me a little bit about how that switch, that step happened. So you were in the insurance industry, that's what you have been doing. And then there was that aha moment. So tell me about that moment and how you jumped into the tech world.
Well, as I mentioned, my background was in finance and insurance. So my background was the automotive in general. This industry is so outdated and they believe in hard work, not smart, hard work, where you would go in the morning, you could be there from 8 o'clock in the morning until 1 o'clock in the morning the next day. Mm-hmm. Especially on the month ends, that's when you would work 18, 20 hours a day. Wow. The latest I've been there was 3 o'clock in the morning working deals. So I noticed the technology so outdated that they could make it so much more efficient if they would just do it the smart way. Well, people that work in this kind of environment, Shaba, they go through so much stress, so much emotional challenges, extremely bad health diet, too much or not enough sleep, not enough rest, not enough time with their families. So there's a point that all that emotions that you've been suppressing, sure, they have to come out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, sometimes they come out in an illness or in a form of a tumor or something like that, that's exactly what happened to me. In 2018, I was diagnosed with cancer.
Wow.
And it's because of the stress that I underwent for so many years. I couldn't see my family. When I wake up in the morning, My children, my family, they're in bed because I have to go to work. When I come back at night, they're in bed. So days go by without you spending quality time with the family, without eating delicious food at the table with the family. And I was diagnosed with cancer, Shaba, and it was one of the most scariest times of my life. I was 36 years old then. And while I was going through chemotherapy, my wife, who also was in the industry before, that's how we met, she stepped up and went to work for us while I was going through chemo treatment. And during one of those chemo trances, Shaba, when my wife would come back home and express the day, how banks are doing ways extremely inefficient and salespeople working really hard, the idea came up to develop what we do in real time using technology. So I saw it. I'm very active in the stock market. So to me, speed in fluctuation is key.
Absolutely.
And I saw that. I saw as a finance manager, you have to line up deals with banks so they can get approved. So you would always go to your finance director to get your deal lined up. So dealer lineup, that's where the name came up. And that's where the concept came up. So all these things that I went through, all my passions, everything that I like, everything that I love, all kind of like fused together. And I saw a problem, I saw the solution, I acted on it, and here we are.
And I have actually to take a moment here to ask or follow up on your health situation with your cancer. Are you cancer free now? I mean, how are you doing health-wise?
It's not my cancer. Thank you for asking me. It's not my cancer. I completely removed it out of my life. Thank God, because I am a very fanatical and addict to personal development, to faith, to study. It was time for me to apply what I've been learning for the past 7 years, since 2014, when my mom passed away on a Christmas Eve. The doctors could not tell me what happened to her, Shaba. They said she developed an autoimmune disease, an autoimmune hepatitis, which led to a liver cirrhosis, which led to a tumor in her. The list goes on and on and on. They said, we don't know, it's an autoimmune disease. So I'm like, what caused an autoimmune disease? They could not explain it. She said it's something she developed herself.
Wow.
That's when my journey to the personal development world started. I was seeking what happens. Why do we develop autoimmune diseases? Why would we do that to ourselves? And I found the answer, Shaba. We literally can kill ourselves if we do some things consistently over time for a long period of time. We can self-sabotage ourselves, including our health.
Yeah, absolutely.
Self-destruct. I knew what happened to my mom. It happened to me now. Now it's time for me to apply that. I applied what I learned, Shaba. And I learned that God did not heal me. It was my faith that healed me, because healing is already complete. So all I had to do was turn it around, go into the spirit, go inside, see health in the midst of illness, see strength and vitality and me living. So I did it over and over and over and over and over and over again, day and night, auto-suggested, did my work. 6 months, Shaba, I was healed, cancer-free. Now I'm healthier than ever before. And I love this, and I want to share this with the world. So if anyone is going through this, or if anyone can relate, to know there's hope.
Absolutely.
Because if I could do it, you can do it too.
Do it as well. Yeah, it reminds me actually, and you and I had conversations before, that you are part of the Bob Proctor movement, to whom I saw years and years ago when The Secret came out, and it was kind of a huge revelation for me how you can heal your body can heal itself, right? If you apply the right mindset, the right approach and lifestyle, your body can heal itself. And I thought that was really, amazing. And that was also my first steps or introduction to the whole world of personal growth and understanding more about the vibration you bring about from within, and then how you attract. It turns into law of attraction. So a lot of people don't understand that law of attraction doesn't work by itself. You have to create an energy that you need to diffuse at a higher level to be able to attract all that you desire, including the ability for your body to heal itself, for your mind to heal itself, and then also to attract the wealth and the success and the beauty of life that you want to create. So that was a huge revelation. So it was just such an amazing time getting into that mindset and understanding the secret, I guess.
Absolutely. And Shaba, let me add this. When I met Bob in 2014, the material was so powerful to me, was so impactful, that he teaches you how to set goals, but not only set them, achieve them. Mm-hmm. So I set a goal in 2014 that I was going to work for him in 3 years. I gave myself a 3-year timeline. The goal became a reality in 6 months. So in 6 months, I was working with Bob. It was the best job of my life, doing what I love for who I love. So it was amazing. And you're right about what you said about the attraction. I went so deep into this, Shaba, that the attraction, it's a secondary law. So the primary law is vibration. Yeah. Vibration attracts. What happened to me was how I was vibrating. If I was constantly under stress, I'm vibrating in that vibration. Absolutely. So you attracted that. And just wanted to add that because you just sparked that thought in me.
Yeah, because really when you think about it, a lot of people, you see them, they only think about negative things all the time. They chew on that constantly. And then they wonder why they attract negative things. Yes. Because the vibration is there. Even if beautiful things came and hit them in the face, they won't even see it because they are so trapped into that negative energy that they cannot see the positive of it. And if the positive happens to them or for them, they doubt it. They're like, oh, it's a mistake. They doubt that energy. So now the universe is not here to sift through thoughts, right? The universe is not here to tell us, oh, this is good for you, this is bad for you, this is the energy of the universe is just flowing. It's like everything else. There is, the nature is going to go with it. So if you produce something beautiful, the universe is going to give you that energy, and vice versa. If you produce something negative, the universe is going to give you more of that. So don't blame the universe, blame the energy that you're diffusing out. And this is where I work a lot with people on their mindset, because unless you change your mindset, you won't see any changes outside. So now you mentioned something about your dream, wanting to work with Bob Proctor. You said 3 years and it happened. So I'm going to share a story with you and shift into your tech venture. Early next, can you believe it? We're already 2022. Early 2021, I met Grant Cardone on Clubhouse. I never heard of him before, never met him before. We bump into each other on a room, on a stage together, and we have some kind of a disagreement, if you wish. So he got my attention, and I started, checking him out and listening to what he says, YouTube videos and so on. And then when I started really understanding his mindset, where he's coming from, what he preaches, I remember telling my husband, I will partner with this guy. But in my mind, I'm not going to be kidding. It was like years, for me, it was like a 5-10 year deal. Didn't give too much of a thought, but here's how it went. So I met him early 2021. Maybe 3 months later, I joined the mentorship program. A month later, I was at a workshop. A month later, I did the business boot camp. A month later, I met Jared Yellen. A month later, I was Grant Cardone's partner. And it hit me in the face how things were boom, boom, boom like that. And the reason is the intensity in which you believe it's going to happen. I actually even talked to Jared Glant, who is Grant's president. And I looked at him and I say, one day I will partner with Grant Cardone. And I said it to all his staff. And they were smiling, of course. They thought the idea was cute, right? They just met me. And here I am signing a contract and an agreement to build a tech company with Grant Cardone himself. So
Wow.
the whole core of the thought here is that the belief in which you manifest the thought, that vibration we were talking about, what is the intensity of it? Anytime you approach anything with doubt, guess what? It will never happen. So now I come back to you as my peer co-founder. You and I are in the same network and the same system. What does it mean to you to partner with Grant Cardone and become or be a tech founder?
It means so much, Shaba. Grant is so well known in the automotive industry. He's a legend. So I've known about Grant for years. Never followed him the way I do now, though. I got to be honest with you, because my thing was the mindset, not sales. I just wanted mindset learning. So what it means right now, it means a lot to me, because since I came up with the idea of dealer lineup, I actually wrote down in my exercises, in my writing exercises, that I was going to partner with Grant Cardone or someone better for this idea. And like you mentioned it, how it just unfolded was beautiful.
Yeah.
And now we share the same bank account. How amazing is that? It means a lot to me.
Yeah.
It means
I
so
love
much.
that. I share the bank account of Grant Cardone. I just love that. I never thought of it that way. So I'm going to add it to my portfolio or my resume.
Think about this. People put pictures and all that. That's cute, right? Like Jared says, that's cute. But you share your bank account with Grant Cardone.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. So it means a lot, a lot.
Yeah. So we are in this journey together to build and scale up companies, and we're going at it. In my case, of course, you are in the automobile industry. I am in the food industry, and we probably might intertwine at some point when Kittyball grows enough to maybe get automobile delivery services worked out with you, your own companies. But let's go back a little bit to what my company is doing. I am empowering 10 million households to connect with their users, to connect kitchen to table. And my idea is really to empower households and families who cannot work outside of their home, or they have a passion for food and share that passion for food. You and I had some interesting conversations about food, and you mentioned it in your introduction there. Your mother, who cooked great meals. So what is the dish, the food that really influenced you at an early age, you know, and really kind of make you emotional when you think about it? We all have some dishes from home. What was that signature dish for you?
The signature dish, it's so hard. This is such a hard question because everything was delicious, from refried beans to cheese and corn tortillas. Like, that's it. Like, as simple as that, you would fall in love with just that. But especially during the holidays, Christmas and New Year's, she would make a very known soup called menudo. I don't know if you know about menudo. There's different styles depending on the region you're from. Where I'm from, it's in Sonora, Mexico, where the menudo, it's a white soup with cow intestines and hominy, and you add cilantro to it, you add green onions. It's, if you listen to it, you're probably gonna be grossed out about it. But because I grew up,
Actually, I'm not.
Okay, well, this soup is so delicious, and then you would eat it with the bread. It's almost like a Mexican baguette with butter, extremely crispy, and you eat it together, and you drink it with a Coca-Cola on the side.
Okay.
Out of all the drinks. Out of all the drinks, but the flavors of that home cooked soup was so incredibly intense. It was such a big project that you look so forward to the flavors, and you mix that with the holidays, and you mix that with the love. You taste the holidays.
Yeah.
She would make tamales too. this was a huge project. Like my aunts, my cousins would come over, big tubs of dough, and the project was like you're looking at an assembly line of pure goodness. It was a whole day project. It's different sorts of tamales, red meat, cheese, and jalapeno tamales. The flavors, though, it wasn't so much the dish, it was the seasoning and the love behind it. And since I grew up with this home cooking, you can't find this at restaurants. There are delicious restaurants out there, but the love, there's a difference between making something with love and making something to sell and to grow your business and to scale, but it's a different love. Do you understand what I'm saying? So
yeah, I'm actually thinking, how can I sell some cooking love in the jar? Enhance the food, you know?
Right. I think it's the love behind the cooking that makes it that way. Like you become one with what you're making, what you're cooking, and then it's like an art to me. So
yeah, go ahead.
I can go on and on and on and on, Shaba. There's honestly every dish and any of the dishes, by the way, any of these dishes, if they would be available around me, that's who I'd be ordering every day, multiple times a day, by the way.
See, and this is where I believe something like Kittyball is going to help these households to come out of the shade and shadow. Because right now, it's like word to mouth. For instance, if you are not connected with these Facebook groups, or you're not connected with, you have no way to know. And the reason I'm saying this is I'm from North Africa, and we do have a lot of different dishes that are impossible to find in restaurants. It's just impossible. The closest that I came across, for instance, the couscous, is a Moroccan restaurant, maybe two of them, one in Chicago. It was fine. But the other one was in Washington, D.C., and it was owned actually by a French chef. So it's not even like an authentic couscous, you know, the way we make it. And when my non-Algerian friends come to my house to eat and they eat my couscous, they're like, this is because we steam it. We do it the traditional way. We steam it, as opposed to, I have seen some people boil it in water. And I'm like, holy cow, my mom would have a heart attack if she saw couscous being boiled in water. You steam it, and there is your ritual, almost like a technique on how you do it. So yeah, it's really hard. So what about, and this is where the idea came from, turning that frustration into excitement, instead of being frustrated like you and your wife about the industry you're in. I was also frustrated about, I crave the food that I crave, and I want to be able, for me and so many like me, and you, to find the food we want. And what about if there is this platform where now you can go in there and you select the food you want by name or by country or whatever, and you access the person who make it, just like your mom, you know, may she rest in peace. So that's what it's very important for us to recreate food as a memory, something that we can connect. And I'm sure there will be some women who make my grandmother's bread, my grandmother's soup, my mom's couscous, you know, and so on. And this is where it's really important to bring that piece we have, you know, like a piece of who we are, which is food and memories of our childhood, to the people, to you, and you'll be able to cry and eat the same similar dish.
Wow, Shaba, that's so awesome that you mentioned that, because you are right. What if there is that lady that makes something so similar to what I am so craving and yearning for, you know, during holidays or these special days? And Kittyball can bring that around, can connect it all together. It's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
You're not only helping cottage kitchens, you're helping people like me want to reconnect with that kid we were once. Isn't that special though?
It is.
Reconnect to that kid that saw the world with so much potential. You didn't see the issues, the problems. You would just see the imagination. Think about that. What is that worth to you? To me, that's worth a lot. So
You mentioned also a cartoon or a movie, an animation,
yes,
actually, that when I
Ratatouille.
talked about is called Ratatouille, where the chef critique, who is a mean guy, go to this restaurant and he tries ratatouille, and the first bite he takes in, and he has flashback into when he was a little boy and he came home, and that was just like very, very special and very intense. And it's exactly that we want to create or recreate or capture through bringing to light the cottage food operators, is really to allow people like you and me to really sit around the table, being adults, and then order food from people who make it with similar level of love and similar authenticity and ethnicity, that when we grab the bite, it's like, oh my God, this is simply amazing. And I want to create and recreate these moments for people.
Wow. And I want to be there, and I want to be the first one that can access the platform, Shaba. And
Amazing. So I have a first user. So Alejandro, I know that your son is also very innovative and creative, and he's also one of the 10x kidpreneur. Tell me about that.
that's amazing. Shaba, we live this lifestyle, we live it, and this is every day. The personal development, the coaching, the love, it's the homeschooling. We also homeschool our kids. By the way, I forgot to mention, I do have 3 children. My oldest, it's Sebastian. He's 11 years old.
We only know Sebastian because he's on the calls as well with you.
Right. He's I'm super proud of my boy. He has been playing with Legos since he was a newborn, literally. And he has built some amazing pieces, transformable transformers, for example, from scratch, that he has done amazing job. So he picks up on our lifestyle of monetizing our lifestyle. So I don't believe in going to work anymore. I believe in living your life.
Amen to that.
Do what you love and find a way to monetize on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the story infiltrated his mind, the thought process, where he was building with his mom, with my wife. They were building, and they would spend hours, 6-7 hours, finding pieces to models, where he said, I wish we just had a Lego scanner that can just find the pieces for us.
Oh, nice.
My wife linked the idea with his idea. We wrote it down. We gave life to it. We created the blueprint of it, and we acted on it, where my son pitched the incubator, the 10X incubator, and it was a deal. So he is the youngest co-founder at 11 years old. Wow. Super proud of him. He's building a Lego scanner that's going to disrupt the entire Lego industry. He is already seeing himself partnering with Lego and becoming this big Lego face. There's a huge world of Lego fanatics out there, and they go all out.
Oh yeah. So yeah. Actually, it's a huge community. Yeah.
So yeah, that's how it started. So we're now in the developing stages, creating the minimum viable product, and getting ready for friends and family very soon here.
Wow, that's awesome. I wish also you guys, while you're at it, do a scanner for puzzle pieces, because like the puzzle is another nightmare. I mean, but maybe that's the beauty of it. You spend days at times and hours just to find one piece. I am really excited just to see an 11-year-old young man entering this world for being a tech founder. It's just so beautiful. And I can only imagine what the future is going to be for him. He's already at 11-year-old, really, to pitch and talk, and go through his thinking process. And that's just, my regard and comment to you guys, because you are really behind the energy in which he is. So we're about done with our time here, a little over. Before we go, I want to ask you, what is your call to action? What is your last words for people who heard our conversation today, and you give them something to take away?
Don't complain. Find a way of solving what you're complaining about. Yeah, when you complain, you are the victim. switch it, flip it around, and find the solution. Do that in every area of your life, and then also find a way to monetize on that. Now you're living, now you're creating, now you are motivated to get going and take action. Don't stop, don't complain, don't procrastinate. Do something. Do something.
I love it, because a lot of people, ideas are great, intentions are amazing, but if there is no action, there is no results.
Absolutely. 100%.
Well, Alejandro, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your time. Guys, thank you for watching. This is another episode of Shaba Shams, and my new show actually is called Around Our Table. I have to get used to the name because I'm changing the name a couple of times just to find that right one. And I think Around Our Table might be the final name for my show, Shaba Speaks. So I will see you on the next one, and we continue to inspire, empower, and connect the citizens of the world to create success and achieve financial freedom. I will see you on the next one, and salam.